Greetings, people. It's Mr. Pull the Trigger yet again on another episode of the Enlightenment series.
I said, listen, Doris, whether you like it or not, from what I'm hearing from you, from what I'm hearing from Prof X, the truth is, I think you fell in love with this guy. And one thing I really appreciate from you is you didn't say, no, Dr. Chidi, is not true. You just owned up. And this is one thing a lot of people are thinking, you're not going. And I don't want you to feel bad, feel stupid, feel anything. It happens. It's just the truth.
So apparently, Jeremiah Omoto deployed one of the Nigerian actors to come and do damage control for him on this case of Baby Testimony and Ruth Matthew. And this woman was set on a mission to come and destroy this case and to bring me to Nigeria. But it so happened that she forgot her mission and she caught feelings and she fell in love with Mr. PDT.
Let me talk about it because at this stage I have to just face my shame.
Yeah, it's not your shame. No, Doris, it's not your shame. Just say what you have to say. Yeah.
If this is the last thing to help so many women who can speak out, I will do it.
Yeah.
I was vulnerable. I needed a friend.
Look.
And that was it. That was it for me and Prof X. He just brought that happiness. Prof X, I don't know, Dr. Chidi, you remember one time when you get me out of depression, out of thinking, you make me just laugh, and I'll say, this is just exactly what Prof X does to me, just make me laugh. You know, so we talked morning, night. We talk all through the phone. Day, night, till 6 a.m. Start all over again. We practically lived on the phone together. I loved him. It sounds crazy, but I did love him. I fell in love for real.
And there's nothing wrong with that. You have to understand. That's the point. You see? Oh, hold on, please. I don't know what happened.
I certainly can't blame her because any other woman can fall for Mr. PDT. I'm a good guy. I'm a fine boy. So it's not really her fault for not being able to stick to the mission, but ended up getting her emotions involved and her feelings involved. Be that as it may, she lost the plot. Her entire agenda was to make sure that this case of Baby Testimony is watered down. She actually stayed with Ruth Matthew and her family at Transcorp Hotel for a period of about 5 days. During these 5 days, she was interrogating Sister Ruth Matthew. She collected Ruth Matthew's son's birth certificates. I don't know for what purpose. She wanted to conceal them or destroy them. I still do not know the reason why she did all that. And during all this time, she was recording Sister Ruth Matthew, making Ruth Matthew give stories and confessions and stuff like that. And all this time, she was sending all this information to Jeremiah Omoto for fame so that they might have a chance to make it look like Sister Ruth Matthew is lying or does not know what she is talking about. She is the one that brought the confusion that Papa J, Jeremiah Omoto, the witchcraft, the native doctor of Wari prophesied about. Remember when Jeremiah Omoto said, confusion, I'm seeing confusion in the camp of the enemy. This is the Delilah that he had deployed to cause that confusion. And she did in some way succeeded in causing that confusion, but because Mr. PDT is on the other side of the panel, we had to thwart all that confusion and we had to expose it and prevent Omoto for fame from getting away or from destroying this case of Baby Testimony. Here we are, still standing, still fighting, and unstoppable, and still here pushing for Baby Testimony's justice. I know wherever she is right now, or wherever they are, all those people that have tried to neutralize this big case of Baby Testimony, they probably think we have let them off the hook. None of them will be let off the hook until we find Baby Testimony. Anyone that had participated in obstructing Baby Testimony's justice will certainly, definitely feel the wrath of a menace, will drag all of them until they make public confessions, until they make public apologies. None of them will be scot-free. None of them will walk free. As long as I'm breathing, as long as I'm alive, we'll make sure that they feel the very same pain that Sister Ruth Matthew has been feeling for the past 3 years. And we will make sure that they'll feel their own fair share of misery. The very same way Sister Ruth Matthew has been miserable for the past 3 years under the influence of Jeremiah Omoto for fame. So there will be no rest for the wicked, and the wicked will pay for their sins. For the wages of sin is death. We don't wish them death, but we wish them to repent. Before it's too late, we wish them to apologize. We wish to make them understand that the case that they charged, the case that they got their noses, their hands on, it was not an ordinary case. It involves a missing child, and for that they should have at least felt some emotional connection to it, at least felt some sympathy for this disabled woman, instead of them taking the side of the billionaire prophet simply because they wanted to cash out from the billionaire prophet. So in the case of this Doris Ogala, I know she probably thinks I'm after tarnishing her image or whatever. She has no image to preserve. The fact that she could lower herself like that to that point of coming to patronize a woman like Sister Ruth Matthew, just like herself, the fact that she would allow Jeremiah Omoto for fame to use her, then she must be ready to dance to the tune. There is no room for anyone to go silent. There is no room for anyone to say, I do not want to talk about this anymore. What? You will talk about it until we find baby testimony. Everybody has to finish what they started, from Chidi and all these other useless bloggers that has been doing damage control for Jeremiah Omoto for fame. You shall not be silent. You shall continue from where you left, and you shall keep on telling us and doing all forms of damage control until we find baby testimony.
23rd March, that's when I cried. Dr. Chidi, you are aware of that incident?
I know. I remember that day. I was with
That
Erica
was
when you called. Yeah.
Arrest, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I called you. You and Erica called me, and I was crying like a baby. I said, I don't understand what's going on. Why is Prof S talking to me like this? I can't. It's confusing. And that was when I started, trying to tell you things, and this is what is happening. I think that was what. Now I want to clear some people who Prof S is. Prof S is very, very good in what he does. He's very, very good in manipulation. He's very, very good in analysis. And of course, he already told me that he's going to mess my career up and my image up. Of course, I expected that. But I didn't expect him to lie about it.
This is my word to Doris Ogala. Listen, I do not care about your reputation. I do not care about whatever you think you are made of. What I'm calling for is for you to make an apology and a confession of your involvement in what you did for Jeremiah Omoto for fame. Until you do that, unless you do that, you will forever be dragged, and we will forever be dragging you until your career means nothing. And you know I'm capable of doing it, and I'll keep on doing it until justice is served, until you go and whisper in Chris Okafor's ears, so that Chris Okafor can go and whisper in Jeremiah Omoto's ears, and Jeremiah Omoto will go and call out those whom he gave baby testimony to bring that boy back. Unless that is done, until that is done, none of you will have no career to preserve. You will have no integrity to maintain. You will have no reputation to preserve. Until baby testimony is found, there will be no peace for the wicked. So with that being said, I'll check you out on the next episode of the Enlightenment series. So if they try to send other Delilahs tomorrow, any day, any time, I'll be waiting. But all I can tell them is, the Solomons are wiser now. It's Mr. Pull the Trigger. I'm out.